Hello, I'm sure you're not watching this video on Halloween, but happy Halloween to you anyway. So I'm going to help you set up the problems for our 7.2 homework. You're going to have to do the math. I will help you set up the problems and read through them. So number one says a football team scored 80% of a total of 500 points. So we have total 500 points in the first 11 games of the season. Fill in the model to show 80% of 500, then write the number. So we want 80% of 500. So 80%. So we always do 80 out of 100. Percent is per 100. And then the total, right? So our part goes on top, our total goes on bottom. Part, total is 500. So we need to crisscross times and then divide. So 500 times 80 divided by 100. Or this one you can also, I know how to get from 100 to 500. I can do the same thing to 80 since those are friendly numbers. So if it works, you can just go from here to here, here to here. If you're not sure about that, 50 times 80 divided by 100. Hey, number two says about 71% of Earth's surface is covered in water. If the surface area of the Earth is 196,900,000 square miles, about how many square miles are covered in water? So we have 71. So we have our part and total. So 71%, 71 out of 100. Remember this right? 100. And then we've got to put this number down here, 196. So 196,900, 1, 2, 3 more zeros. So I'm going to do I'm just doing 71 times 1,960. And then when I'm done, I just need to add 5 more zeros. Then divide it by 100. So we're timesing these. 71 times 1,969, then add 5 zeros, divided by 100. And then it wants to know the opposite of that. What percent of the Earth is not covered in water? Well, the part that's not covered in water is 100 minus 71. And then we're going to do that same problem here, 1,969, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. And this answer here is going to go over 100. So that answer is going to be your percent. We're going to multiply those, then divide by 100 to get that percent there. So number 3 and 4, we're using this information here. The metal bar is shown is an alloy of silver and other metals. It is 7.5 ounces. If the silver accounts for 84% of the weight, so this is the total weight, what is the weight of the silver? So this is number 3. So number 3, we have the part, we have the total. So we need to set up our problem. So we know we have 84%. And then the total is 7.5. So 7.5 times 84 divided by 100 will tell me the part that is silver. Number 4 says if 9% of the bar's weight is iron, how much does the iron weigh? So this one, we want to set up our problem. So now 9% is iron. 9% is iron. The total is 7.5. 7.5 times 9 divided by 100 will tell us how much the silver is going to weigh. So every time we're setting up that problem the exact same way. Part, total, percent, 100 every single time. Hey, number 5 wants 30% out of 180. So we're going to set up our problem. So out of 180, it wants to know what is this number out of 180. When I'm talking fraction, this out of this. And then 30% are always out of 100. So we're going to times, then we're going to divide here. Hey, this one wants 10% of these. So if you can find the pattern, great, and you already know how to do this, awesome, you do it. If you're not sure how to find 10%, we're going to set up the problem if this is one you choose to do. So we have 10% every time out, so out of 30, so 10% of the total 30. So we need to do 30 times 10 divided by 100. This one, same thing, 10%, 10 out of 100, but this time it's out of 240. So 240 times 10 divided by 100, what do you have here? So this one, again, 10% percent per 100 is out of 47. 47 times 10 divided by 100 will give you that percent. And then here we have 10.8. We're going to times that by 10 and then divide it by 100. And then look at your answers compared to what you started with and see what pattern you noticed when we're finding 10% of those numbers. Oh, I think I got some more problems down here. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to help you set them up. Again, you can do the math. So 10%, if you just did this one, you might notice the pattern and already just know how to do it. So it's out of 100. So what is out of 90 here? And then this one here, we have 50%. So 50%. What is out of 14? This one, we want 30% out of 90. So 30 times 90 divided by 100 to solve that one. And this one here, we have 80 out of 100. 80% is what out of 40. So these ofs are telling us it's the total. It's this out of 90, out of 40. So you've got to find that number that goes on top. So crisscross multiply, then divide by 100. Okay, number 11 tells us that 100 of 140 people at the movie, 40% bought popcorn, 30% of the people bought pretzels, 10% bought pizza. How many people bought each item? So every time our total is 140. So we're going to set up these problems. So our total is 140 every single time. There was a total of 140 people. So popcorn is 40%. So crisscross multiply and divide. We've got 30% here. And then we've got 10% here to find how many people bought that type of snack. Hey, number 12 says the circle graph shows the percent of votes the winning candidate received in the election. So here's the winner. About how many votes did they receive? So here's our total. So let's set up our problem. So the total is 6,350. We can see the winner got 63%, so 63 out of 100. So if we multiply and divide, and right, this says about. So once I do this problem, which one is closest to that answer? Hey, and this one tells us there are 80 marbles in a bag, so that's the total. 30% of the marbles are green. How many are not green? So we're going opposite of what it says. So let's start with what we know. We know there's 80. That's not going to change. And I'm looking for how many are not green. Not green. 30% are green. So right, if this is my whole bag, If 30% is green, 30 plus what equals 100? 30 and 70 make 100. So 70% are not green. So we're going to put that there. We could also do 30% and find that number and then take it away from 80. But we already know 70% are not green. So there's a couple ways you can set it up. You just need to think about what is the question asking us to do. Okay, number 14 says Lamar earns 40% of his money moving furniture. So 40% moving furniture. He earns $150 total. So it's telling us it's the total. How much money did he earn? So we set it up. So 150 is our total. 40 is out of 100, 40%. Crisscross multiply, then divide will tell us how much he earned moving furniture. Number 15 says Barry entered a singing competition. 3 of the 15 judges voted for him to go on to the semifinals. What percent is that? So this one's a little bit different than all the others so far. This one says we have 3 out of 15. It wants to know the percent. The number we're missing is down here. We know it's out of 100. Percents are always out of 100. But now we're looking for the percent. So we're going to crisscross multiply the other way because we don't have the percent here, and then divide it by 15. Okay, and if you're choosing to do these ones, these should be things that we have learned about this year. So it should just be a refresher for you. So you have a bakery packages 868 muffins into 31 boxes. The same number are put into every box. How much are in each box? So we're taking our total and dividing it into groups of 31. Hey, greatest to least, remember your number line. So 0, our negative numbers are going to be this way, positive are this way, smaller, bigger. And we've got these here. If necessary, round to the nearest thousands. Remember, the thousands place is 3 places after. So if your problem keeps going, we're going to go to 4 places. On the third one, we look back behind. If this is a 0 through 4, then this number stays the same. If this number is a 5 through 9, then it makes this one here go up. It bumps it up. Or this one makes it just stay the same, and then we get rid of the last number. So 560 divided by 1.4. Remember, the decimal is in the second part. In the divisor, we need to move the decimal. We need to move the decimal. This one, it's not in the divisor, so this one just goes straight up. So, and then you're going to have to add some zeros. So I'll help you do this one, and I'll let you try the other ones if you choose to do those problems. So this one says 9.5, and we're dividing by 500. There's no decimal in the divisor, so this one stays here. We're going to just move it up. 500 can't go into 9, and it can't go into 95. And there's my decimal. So I just need to add some more zeros. So 500 into 950 goes in there one time. So there's 500. So 5 left over, 4 left over. Oh, that looks like a 6 instead of 0. So 450, we're going to add another 0. Goes here. So I'm doing 500 into 4,000. So right, 500, there's 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 3,500, 4,000, 4,500. Oh, how perfect. I have the exact number of fingers for this answer, right? Look, 5 goes into 45 9 times. So I can just keep adding zeros. It doesn't change because there's that decimal. There was nothing there before, and 0 means nothing. There's nothing there now. So my answer, this is a 0 here, and it ended perfect, so I don't need to round this one, is 0.019, 19,000. thousandths. So you can add those zeros to make your problem keep going if it doesn't go in there perfect. So make sure you have picked the problems that you're going to do and make sure you do enough of them. So according to your pacing guide, and if you need any other help, let me know, but make sure you have set the problems up.